SMT with ES would be nice. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we get. Do you have to put ice packs? I don't really know too much about that. I've not really looked into that one. That's a funny question. Yeah, Apex does monthly promotions. I mean, you know, Apex, when are they not doing a monthly sale, you know? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm looking for fertility issues. That's what I am looking for. You know, we're not trying to get anyone pregnant. No thanks. Take Profit Trader, it pretty quick with their payouts. Well, they are the #1 prop firm for the quickest payouts. That is true. My fund of futures is very fast. I've had payouts, you know, submitted and paid within 30 minutes. Currently got 5 top steps, 5 my fund of futures, 5 funded next. Lovely stuff. Okay, shift in market structure here on NQ. Slowly pushing down into area. It's going to give us almost a 5-minute bullish gap in a minute. Alright, so the 5-minute bearish is bearish 15. Was bearish, got inversed. ES took the high. Neutral 15 there. Buy still bullish. Price action is the likely scenario to draw higher, still towards London. Okay, so this is just price taking short-term low, trading back into a bullish imbalance, trading towards London. That's most likely scenario there. There's Milo talking right now. Double BEAR. Hello, brother. How are you doing? Hope you are well. 1 hour should be neutral. Yes, that is correct. Let's just reference that. Yeah, it is correct. Yeah. Hourly is neutral. Okay. Lovely, lovely stuff. Neutral. We had a mixed opinions on my music today. You know, I switch it up. Next time we will play, maybe between the next macro, we will play some rock music. Let's do that. You know, we done some drill. Well, we actually haven't really done any drill music. We did a little bit of M Honcho D Block, and then. Alright, so as I said, the draw is likely London. You know, failed shift, bias bullish, trades into imbalance. Boom. Trades to London. Okay. We got a sick emoji on rock. Well, you know, I kind of vibe to not rock music, not where they're playing the guitar and the drums and everything. I think that's like, that just reminds me of people doing drugs at festivals. But I listen to like a little bit of Nirvana when I'm on the bike and I'm ripping like 250 kilometers an hour. A bit of Nirvana, it does slap. It does slap. You know? Same as a bit of Ariana Grande and a bit of Katy Perry when you're ripping the bike, or a bit of Ziz remixes. You guys don't know. I have a very wide. If you don't have a wide music taste, then there's something wrong. You know. Okay, that's good to see. So sweep of London highs. Okay, this now puts. Let's look at the daily. Let's kind of work our way back here. Daily doesn't change, right? It's not something we look at, but the 4 hour does. Okay, bullish to bearish. One hour. Bearish. 15-minute bearish. Yeah. The only reason I referenced the left to see if the new week opening gap was overlapping with the current bearish gap. Bias has shifted bearish. Okay, 5-minute would be neutral, and we have this candle still open, respecting this bearish gap. We would assume this one's still respected for the next 2 minutes. Leave that as bearish, 8% bearish bias. Looking for a shift in market structure lower here, trading out of the unfilled 4-hour and sweep of London highs. Simple stuff, okay? Yeah, not many people know about the Ziz remixes or the Rich Piano remixes, but the Ziz remixes are better, to be honest. Let's see if we will hit 200 people. I need to add a couple people from Telegram messages. 1 second. Okay. Looking for a shift lower in market structure, inverse of a bullish order block on ES. Has the upper bullish order block there. Shift below that low, shift below this low on NQ. Let's see if we factor in a more 5-minute accumulation-ish, and the cutoff for today is, give me 1 second, Forex Factory for 10 AM red folder. There is no red folder news today. Red folder is scheduled for tomorrow at 8:15 AM, 10 AM red folder tomorrow, okay. No red folder today, so there is no cutoff at 55. No sound, he ain't talking, no sound. Hello my brothers. We certainly do have some sound. As of now, we are monitoring price after 10 AM. Second half of the first day of macro. Right now we are looking for a shift lower in market structure. We're already on the third step. Bearish bias, sweep of London highs. Easy stuff. Oh dear, we have people in the chat saying that's why we didn't take it. No, no, no. We didn't take it because we swept buy side. Nothing to do with the risk to reward. Step number 1, step number 2 is missing. Why even monitor the rest of the model? Okay. We don't miss anything. There's nothing to miss. Through the process, I was guiding you guys that, yes, we're going to draw to London, we draw to London, and we continue. It's filling into that 4-hour unfilled gap. If we don't see a shift in the first, what we will see, going up to the second day of macro, what we're going to see. Someone try, take my thought from my head. Milo, how are you, G? Absolutely amazing. How are you, brother? Accumulation, exactly, yeah. So after a move like this in the first AM, towards the second AM, we get that nice accumulation, minor buy side, shift, boom. We'll look for shorts, target discount of the range, first AM, 1 minute low, London lows as a draw. Okay, so that's an opportunity that we'll be looking towards. Easy stuff. Very good, brother. Good to see that you're doing well. Everyone does well inside this group. All sectors. Chase and brother, what are you saying? It's been a little while since we've spoke. Isn't that risky to look for shorts? No. If it aligns with the model, we take it. Milo, can you make another video determining on how you look at higher time frame bias detailed? Well, have a scroll through on the mentorship that I've put on YouTube for free, and there is a video which is specifically dedicated to bias. It's around a 15-minute video, won't take up too much of your time. That goes in detail with bias. We're not looking to waste 1 hour, 2 hours watching a YouTube video, okay? I put it down simplified in 15 minutes for bias. I think it might even be 10 minutes. Episode 5 question mark, potentially. It is there. Just skip through the episode until you find the one for bias. Very, very simple. You should be able to complete your bias within 30 seconds. Ish. Shouldn't take longer than that. Once you've got it, and you can redo your bias at 10, so on and so forth. You know, we don't really look at the daily again. Still remains as bullish. Bearish. Bearish. 15-minute inverse the bearish gap, so it's bullish towards the next bearish gap. And if we monitor that unfilled on ES, not been traded into, and draw on E and Q is towards 88650, 15 bullish. But when you have the higher time frames as consisting of bearish, which the daily obviously isn't, then there's no point looking at the 5 and 15. But today that's not the case, with the daily being bullish. And then we have the 5 minute, which is not bullish. It would be either neutral or bearish. And you can see the bearish gap got inversed, so it is bullish towards this unfilled 5. And we have to look at the imbalance also on ES. It's an unfilled 5, does not get traded into, so it's a draw towards 88. Yeah, so AAA is the draw on the 5 and 15. So we still have currently from bearish to a bullish bias intraday and higher time frame as of now. So you can see the 5's trading into that bullish gap. So it's bullish regardless, and the 15 is also bullish there as well. Didn't quite trade into that bearish gap. So just because we have the 4 and the hourly is bearish, daily's bullish, 15 and 5 is bullish. Okay, so which puts this starting shift in market structure as invalid for shorts right now. Let's delete this high because it makes it a little bit messy. I'll just leave London on there. Just clean the chart up a little bit. Just clean this up. We can add this as minor buy side down here. So remove that sweep previously. Add that minor buy side. So this shift in market structure is going to be a non-valid shift. Not that we can look to capitalize off a short. So bullish 5, bullish 15, bullish daily. Bias still stands as bullish. Nothing to see here. Price is likely, the likely scenario of this is a draw back towards the high. That's the likely scenario for price. Okay, so the mistake that I see a few of you guys making inside of the chat is constantly looking for a shift. You know, like a little bit of cheese as like a... Well, let's not put you in that category. I'm just saying that you do not want to go ahead with the rest of the model without the starting parts of the model. The first two things that you look for is a sweep of liquidity and bias. If you're yes, exactly. There's the emoji. So what I'm saying is that you do not want to sniff out the rest of the model before you actually have the start. Okay, so right now our bias currently stands as bullish. So looking for shorts, there's no point saying that we're looking or anticipating or seeing a shift lower on NQ or ES. Doesn't matter. And I'm not even paying attention to price action until price, as of now, has a sweep of buy side, which correlates with a bearish bias. Bias currently stands as bullish. So we do not go to the rest of the model or even waste energy thinking about whether price is shifting or is there a gap on NQ or ES. Otherwise, it's only going to have temptations, okay? For those of you that are new, you may find a temptation point to start gambling your accounts, okay? It's only going to set you back and waste your time. And no one, whether you're at the point when you have working with 5-6 prop firms, or you're working with one on evals, it is the same process to someone who has those accounts and someone who doesn't. Okay, you still have to take the correct trades. That there isn't a faster route to you know, passing accounts and trading towards a payout faster. There is absolutely no difference. Let me slap this laptop on the charger. There we go. Scene said my Wi-Fi is shit. Didn't you say you have an 80 download speed, right? That is very shit. Oh dear, you can't even hear me speaking. That's the level of Wi-Fi that Scene Sean Who What When is dealing with right now. Scene, if you hear me, brother, you do need to, after a couple payouts, is to leave that apartment and find somewhere with 300 download speed minimum. Wi-Fi is not dependent mostly on your broadband. It's also dependent on area and whether the area is fiber optic. Yes, brother, you do need to throw your Wi-Fi router out the window, but you also need to pass and take a few payouts to get yourself out of the front door first. So keep that Wi-Fi box for now. We're on the phone hotspot now. Yeah, absolutely. Starlink, yeah, I ordered a Starlink when I was in Mexico. It arrived and I'd already left, so I left it there. I was going to use it just in case. I never even had a reason on why to use it, you know. So as I said, the bias currently standing as bullish and a failed shift on ES, NQ, no gap, both assets. Likely draws towards that high, okay. It's going to put us outside the first AM. We're likely going to see after that first move, price slowing down, accumulating, taking minor buy side, giving us a nice clean model for second AM. We had UK James put a prediction in that we might see an opportunity in the first AM today. It was looking relatively promising at the start, and then we took London highs and didn't form an opportunity for shorts. So we are going to monitor this second AM macro. Yeah, with the Starlink, right? Obviously, you need no construction above, and then you're going to have pretty good connection, I'm pretty sure. Yes. I'm in Montana. Yeah, Montana is it's the plate I had on my car. Montana plate. Don't know why it was Montana, it must be from there. Is there quite a few nice cars in Montana, do you see, Jack? Oh right, so they're registered and exported from Montana. That makes sense. Milo, in most prop firms there is a requirement for 5 profitable trading days, usually above $50 or $150. How do you go about? Well, you trade the account up to a certain balance, and if it's a 50k account, the minimum payout requirement for you yourself as a trader, yes, you'll be eligible prior, is 2.5k. Building your 50k account to a 2.5k profit leaves you to the point where you can take $500 off the top. Nothing more, really nothing less. And what I recommend personally is building your 50k accounts to a 3k profit. Once it hits 3k, if you're running 5 accounts, following the prop firm section inside of the Discord, this is what scales you up to $20,000 a trade. And that is the first step. You build 5 top step 50k funded accounts to a 3k balance. You take 1k off the top of 5 of those accounts as a $5,000 payout. Use and follow it accordingly. And it all is literally word for word of what I'm about to say inside of there. So just read that and it's going to give you it in a very better visual detail. So take a look at that. Following that step by step, it will give you $20,000 per trade, and that is the minimum that you guys will be making, and then you can scale up further. You can start looking into Apex, FTMO, building your live account. Okay. That is every single one of your goals and minimum requirements. If you're not already there, that's what you're aiming for as your first goal. 20k per trade. Not 5, not 1k per day, not 500 per day, okay? Don't be silly. This is an industry that is very difficult, okay? And you'd be rewarded for your knowledge and patience and also taking the right positions. You do not get rewarded by a $300 day. We are not a, office worker, okay? Yes, that's correct. 5 profitable trading days. When you take a payout and you work towards the payout, and let's say you build your account up to 4.5k balance and then trade it up to 7k and you take 3k off the top, that's what I recommend. So you leave a 4.5k buffer, you're trading risking 600 per trade on the scaling plan of the Discord, okay? So what, 2 to 1 for 1.2k per trade, okay? You trade it up to a 7k profit, which consists of around 3 to 4 winning trades. You would take a loss or 2 or 3 or 4 in between getting up to the 7k profit. Also applying 75% rule in case account goes into drawdown from 4.5. Okay, to always have your account protected at all costs. And by the time you reach the point of a payout at 7k minimum, or you can run it to 10, you're already going to have your 5 profitable trading days every single time. Hopefully that answers your question. Easy stuff. What's the minimum capital you recommend for getting started with crypto? Well, I would say the minimum would be around 20k. Yeah, 20k would be the minimum, really. You can't really make too much with anything less than 20k. Okay, so if you're taking a Bitcoin short and you're using 20% of your portfolio, you're going to be looking at a $4,000 position on 2x leverage, 8k position, 70% gain. You're realistically going to make around $6,000, $5,000 on that position for a short. Okay, the short we're currently in with a minimum 20k spot portfolio USDT, and you convert that into the isolation margin section on Binance, and then you can leverage your position if it is a leverage position, or if it's a spot order. It really does depend. But no, do not put $1,000 or $5,000 into a crypto portfolio. It is absolutely pointless. You're better off putting that into a Tradeovate live account, and then your Tradeovate live account must be a balance over $20,000. Okay, you can start off at 5, but you shall not touch a crypto portfolio or real estate. Those two sections are off limits for those of you that don't have a 20k Tradeovate account live and maxed out your prop firms. Once you've done that, then you can start looking onto the crypto section and putting money there, and also into real estate, which you park from prop firm payouts, and also your crypto positions as well. It's very simple. Every single 4-year cycle of the halving, okay, 2012, 16, 20, 2024, okay, the crypto market is so easy. It's so easy, guys. So, you know, what we do, okay, the crypto market would produce us some sort of gain, and after the gain, whether you take a short, you reprice that back into a long, and you target the all-time highs. When price reach all-time highs, what do? Okay, so I took a long on Bitcoin 2024 January when it was around 30k, and I sold at 100k in January. I then took an Ethereum position in April, and every time I took a position, I parked that off, boom, into real estate, or I put that back into my live account. I made a deposit. So you're moving it into places where the money's hot. And when the crypto market has expired, it's at all-time highs, you're either looking for 15% portfolio short, or at the time when everything's overinflated like it is now, you're parking over into real estate, just like I've done. I'm risking $100 a trade. What do you think about this? 7-account trader. What do you mean you're risking $100 per trade? I don't understand. Is it a 50k account, or is it a live account? What's the balance? Let's get some more context on that, brother. 50k? Or what, funded or eval? Okay, so you have 7 50k accounts. I mean, are they funded or evals? It's the difference. PA Apex. I mean, why would you be risking $100 per trade? Are they currently in a substantial drawdown, or what? You know, it makes sense if they're in a drawdown past 1500. Okay, so you're sitting below the 1500 of drawdown, you're recovering. Let's get some more context on that again, brother. What's the balance? What's the balance on the 50k accounts on Apex? We need the balance ASAP. You there, brother? Okay, so as stated, priced up first AM, accumulation towards second AM. Bearish SMT NQ, that's likely gonna cancel out. NQ will likely take the high, and we'll see likely an opportunity in the second AM for shorts. We will see. Right. No. What do you mean your balance is 0? Because on Apex you start at 50k. It's not top step. You're not starting at 0 on funded top step. When you say 0, do you mean that it's a fresh PA account and you're starting at 50,000? So you're not in a profit or a loss? Confused because you said it was Apex. We said Apex, but I know it's meant to say Apex. Yeah, no, brother. If you'd remind me, as your first language is not English. Yeah, we got Ash with the emoji there. What are you saying, brother? Oh, does he speak Hebrew, does he? Okay. Yeah, no, if you just tell me, is your current balance on your PA account, is it 50,000 or is it blown? Or is it in a drawdown or is it in a profit? I'm just slightly confused of what you said. I'm up $100. Okay, right. So you are risking way too little on your 50k account. Don't be afraid. Okay, there is no reason on why you should be risking $100 per trade. You are currently at $50,100 on 7 accounts. You should go and follow the risk management funded section inside of this Discord. You are funded, therefore risk management funded, and you follow that accordingly. So you want to be risking $300 per trade, and as far as stop loss, if it's 25 points, that is your position size. It says it right there. 25, 30, 20, 15. There it is. Maverick has put it in the chat. That's the hashtag. Click that. Take you straight to the channel. That is what you need to screenshot. Put it in your iPhone notes. Put it on paper. Put it on your wall. Have it in front of you. That's what you're going to follow. You only risk you don't even risk $100. You only risk $150 if you drop below $1,500 a drawdown left. Just 75% of 2k. Okay, simple maths. We only do maths that makes us money, okay? We don't do algebra. And who knows what I learnt in the past when I did A-level maths. I've completely forgot. Couldn't care less. Yeah, Ollie, that's funny. You gotta get some things in there, Ollie brother. You gotta get some few Colombians. I'm taking drawdown, risk 1 to 10 from drawdown. You think it's good? You're risking 1 out of 10. Well, that doesn't slightly make sense. Okay, run at 1 out of 10. You know what is the dollar amount risk? What is your current balance? Milo, how does the multiplier work on Tradeovate for mirror trading? Well, if you're group trading on Tradeovate and you're not running other prop firms, so you're not using TradeSyncer, then you just click manage groups and you drop them into the managed group, and then boom, you execute. And when you execute on Tradeovate with group trading, make sure that it's not TradeSyncer. You don't execute 5 micros and it puts 5 micros on all of your accounts. If you're running 5 accounts, you hit 25 micros and it will separate 5 on each one of your Tradeovate accounts. Okay, so do not enter a position on one of your PAs or Tradeovate prop firm groups, okay, and think it's going to put it on all of them. It will split it accordingly from whatever you put in is exactly what gets split across all of your accounts. The 1 to 10 risk. What are you guys talking about? 1 to 10 risk. What does that even mean? 0. What is this? I don't understand. You're risking $1 out of every $10 you make. What are you guys talking about? Oh dear. We're speaking Spanish now. What? I have to learn Hebrew. I need to understand you guys. Oh dear. I need my London brothers in the chat. No, brother. If your drawdown is $2,000, that's standard on a 50k. Okay? So, it's very simple to read. You know? No. Just follow the risk management plan, okay? It's easy stuff. I don't want to bore the people that already know. Let's not talk about risk management, okay? It's not something we discuss. It's all inside of this Discord. You guys already have it. Whether you're on a drawdown, whether you're eval, whether you're funded, okay? Accumulation, manipulation. As I said, NQ would draw to the high, took the high. We will redo our bias in 8 minutes. Okay, so bearish SMT on NQ, sweep at buy side, bearish bias. Okay, 5 minutes now, bullish. No inverse bullish order block on either asset. Okay, so 5 is bullish, 15 still bearish. Yeah, still a bearish bias. Okay, so on ES we do have a bullish order block to the left, which is just closed below, or not quite. Yeah, that order block's not quite been inversed yet. We want to monitor this low on NQ here. We don't want that to get taken. Okay, so NQ just, ES just closed below. So above these bearish gaps. We've just tapped the low on NQ. We just, yeah, so I'm not going to take that. We just tap that low on NQ, as you can see. So the reason why I'm paying attention to this low with being tapped is because of the 15. We tapped the 15. So now look at our bias, right? That's why I was paying attention to that low. Not about it being taken, the fact it got tapped. That's why I drew this line over, is because that's what shifts the 15. Okay. So essentially, yes, it was equal lows, but it's a tap on the 15 bullish gap. So it shifted the 15 over to a bullish bias. So essentially, with tapping the low and then trading up, that would be a bullish bias. Just from that, you know, kind of 30 seconds there. We looking for longs now? Absolutely. So we want to see a shift higher in market structure. As of now, this model was close to being taken, but obviously we tapped this low, which invalidated the trade. Also, the stop placement on this position is absolutely fine. It was a 45 handle stop at a 1 minute swing high, and we would have looked for 90 points, which likely would have reached towards this area here. So this 1 minute low or this 1 minute low. This 1 minute candle opened, okay, and I was closely monitoring it. So there is things that I will look at in price and not mention to you guys on the stream sometimes, because, you know, I can't always be speaking 24/7. Price on the 1 minute opened, traded, tapped the low. Now I didn't take the low, equal lows, okay. Tapped the low, which is with the 15 bullish. Changed the 15 from bearish to bullish. Changed our whole bias to bullish upon then wicking back up to an entry, which I'm not taking, okay. Otherwise we would take the entry. So if I show you guys on the 15 minute, this white line that I drew is from the 15 minute entry, which is that minor sell side, that a shift in market structure great enough to then take this low would then change our bias completely. That's what we didn't want to see there, and that's obviously what happened. It's never an unfortunate event. It never is. It's just us following the model. That's all it is. And also, if you ever choose to take positions that I don't take, that is completely you as a trader to make that informative decision yourself, you know. But you guys are watching me live and are getting my point of view on price. Doesn't mean that you have to follow with the exact same process, which I know majority of you guys are. And this is exactly how I monitor price and have been for many years. Okay, this is something I'm interested in. We have a sweep of sell side, price comes back to a discount. We're seeing a shift in market structure. We have a bearish order block on NQ that's slightly getting inversed. And we are slightly seeing a shift on ES and on NQ. I will be taking longs. So we just want to see and wait for the rest of this model. This is looking like an aggressive shift in market structure here. Alright, so that's a shift in market structure on NQ and also on ES. We have a fair value gap forming. So 5 minutes currently neutral. We're in a bearish and a bullish gap simultaneously. 15 minutes bullish. So 1 hour bearish, 4 hour bearish, 15, yeah. So our bias currently stands as neutral. Okay. So this bearish gap overlaps with this bullish gap. So it's a neutral 5 minute, not bullish, it is neutral. So there's no opportunity to take here. That is a neutral bias. So yes, it's the model. It's a shift on both. Inversed order block took a low. Took a low. Fucking hell. I need to get some water. So that would be a breaker block paired with the gap. But we're not taking it for a neutral bias there, okay? So both the 1 minute bullish gap and the 5 minute bearish gap for the entry at 806.75 lies the bias as neutral, so it wouldn't be a position. It's just key things to pay attention to, okay, when you are monitoring price. It's never a point to be stressful. For those of you that are new, you're going to find it that when you are, looking for position, things come at you quite fast. You trying to identify different things, price taking liquidity and bias and managing a shift on both, gap on both, things such as that. For people that are new, they are going to struggle with putting it all together because they are new to seeing it, okay? And as I said time and time again, it's always important to backtest, to get that preempt knowledge and experience without having it in the live market, okay? And you guys have access to the full checklist guide of exactly what we look for, one of one, which you'll see as a channel in the Discord. So you can see 2 times in a row in the second day of macro, okay, we have come close to taking 2 positions. We came 30 seconds close to a short and also 30 seconds close to a long. The shift in market structure as of this position was this high. This was the bearish order block, this white candle here, okay. That was the bearish order block that got inversed. It took a 1 minute low breaker paired with the gap. Bias upon entry at 806.50 was lined with the 5 minute bearish gap, which neutralized the 5. You have a neutral bias, okay, if this stands like this. Look, so the 5 minute bullish gap, bearish gap, and the bullish gap. Anything else inside of this bearish gap is neutral, as the bias is bearish and bullish, so it's neutral, okay. So that's a quick explanation for that one. Can't really say that word. This behavior is unseen and change of perspective to a winning mindset. Well, yeah, you're not going to see any other traders on social media. I don't know of any, to be honest. This is what I do. There's some very awful traders in the space. Very, very awful. Yeah, I know of countless. It's almost cringy to watch. ICT traders be getting raped recently. Well, the majority. Last month we closed up 7R. So for me it was a 190k month, and for many of you guys as well, closed in a very nice profit as well. So far in November we're currently sat at a $0 P&L. We've not taken any positions on the first 2 trading days so far. We are in the second day of macro and we have the third. So I'll label this, guys, as some clarity. Bearish order block. Currently acting as a bearish confluence for price to draw lower. If it gets inversed, it's then a bullish confluence. Well, for those of you guys that have joined many other groups, of course you're going to experience that 95% of people who trade live they're going to give you a position every single day, you know. That is not what I do. I really couldn't care less if there's not a valid trade for 5 days. I'm not here to say, guys, let's take this, that, you know, let's take that. So we are here to look for positions according to the model. Valid positions. I'm not here to just pump out trades 24/7 that are invalid. You know, that's not. You guys are watching me live. You're watching me do my job. You're watching me make the money that makes my year, okay? I'm not here to destroy my personal well-being so I can support or make positions on a daily in front of an audience. I couldn't care less. I'm doing it for the benefit of you guys to get some insight, my thought process when I take positions live. So the max stop placement, that's a good question. LET futures. So our max stop placement is essentially 60 points. With a 60-point stop placement, you take a 30 handle stop, but you half the position size, which is according to that. Therefore, you'd still risk the same dollar amount, if that makes sense. Yes, correct. So we would monitor the 15-minute in 4 minutes from the inverse of the 15-minute bullish gap, if that was to take place. Right now we've got a bearish bias, so the likely draw right now is back towards this area in price. Obviously respected the bearish order block, price trades into another bearish order block, so the likely draw out of these two bearish confluences and bias. There you go. I'll delete and remove London highs from ES because that's old news. If you haven't already, guys, on your trading view, make sure you've got intervals selected. That's a rookie mistake. You want to have this turned on. So when you switch time frames, it switches them on both. Make sure you got that on. Draws towards the low from the bearish order block. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it up for you guys. Click this button, interval, turn it on. Obviously crosshair, everyone's got that turned on, but turn the interval on. Okay, you got that, yeah? Look, 5. Don't be doing this as well. Don't select your time frames. On your keyboard, just type 5, enter, boom. Switches on both. Both. 1 hour, both. Be quick, fast and snappy. You know, don't waste time. Don't waste brain power. If you want to achieve 200, 300, 400k months, you need to have mental clarity. You do not want to be, you know, what Bill Gates said, very important. Hire the lazy people, because they're always going to find the easiest way. Always find the easiest way. If you don't know something, hire someone who knows. Okay? It's always the rule of thumb for business. 15 minutes. Eventually going to get inversed. Took the 5-minute lows, so 5's neutral. Yep, so we're going to wait for the lunch macro, okay? So we will see what we get inside of the lunch macro and if any positions present themselves. This macro did not give us a opportunity for the short as the buy shifted a few seconds prior. And the long as well, buy shifted neutral. Okay, so we're going to wait for the lunch macro. So I'll unmute my mic at around 11:35 a.m. See, so I'm putting in the chat time to do arms. I wouldn't. No, I can't actually train upper. I've already trained upper today. So I train an upper lower split. I don't do push pull, legs. So I think it's a pretty poor workout routine, to be honest. Upper lower works best. So I just train upper. I train chest, shoulders, delts, back, lats, arms, triceps and biceps all in the same session. I'm done and out with the best pump of my life every single time in around an hour and 15-20 minutes, so today I managed to get up to consistently curling the 20 kgs, so slowly making progress and achievements. I'd say my arms are my strongest part, to be honest. So I'm curling for 3 sets of 10 reps, 20 kg dumbbells. So that's and then today I did 3 sets of 6 40 kg dumbbell flats. Chest press, obviously. And then I did incline. I'm not as good for incline. I used to be very good with incline, but I focused more on my lower chest because incline was the only thing that I pretty much did all the time, and I got a clicking shoulder, so I stopped with the incline to take stress off the shoulders and did focus more on the chest, and got back on the incline today. I was doing 20, so not much at all, so 25 kg both sides on the barbell incline Smith machine. For lower chest, well, to be honest, my advice for people that want to build a bigger chest is never do flat, because everyone lacks with a underdeveloped upper chest. So always train as an incline if you can, and your shoulders are fine, which 99% of you guys are. So yeah, always do incline dumbbell press on the bench, or I recommend the Smith. So if you use the Smith machine for an incline press, it's really going to concentrate, and you can really concentrate the muscle on the incline Smith machine. The Smith machine's only good for really two things. It's good for Bulgarian split squats, okay, and it's good for incline bench. That's it. Yeah, and also the calisthenics is starting to come on a little bit. I'm doing more pull-ups now, you know, so obviously I have it on the balcony, so slowly. Yes, you know, with the lower chest, it will have more of a drooping effect. It won't give you that kind of uplifted, kind of big chest. If you build your upper chest, you're going to have a big chest. But if you build flat bench, you're going to have essentially just, you know, if you train it too much, a pair of tits, you know. So you're going to have, if you look at, for example, a very good example would be Andrew Tate's physique. It really depends, but obviously if you want to build a big chest, people go to the gym to get bigger. He always trains push-ups and flat bench. You will get more of that muscle built at the bottom of your chest. Not giving you a big chest, it's giving you more of a, you know. Tips to cut? Well, just consume less carbs and high protein. And train on a higher rep range. So train on, you know, train on a 12 rep range, so still weight train, just cut your carbs, don't eat rice, pasta, pizza, bread. Cut the carbs down, high protein, eat mostly chicken steaks. Yeah, just really just cut the carbs and do a higher rep range and include 30 minutes of cardio per day inside of your sessions. Walking, fast walking, don't run, do a fast walking. Otherwise, if you run, you're going to go into the wrong reserve and not your fat. Okay, you need to, because if the body needs energy right now, the fastest source is glucose. So unless you run a whole marathon, which you won't in the gym, walking fast at a fast pace for 30 minutes will burn more calories. How many meals am I taking per day? Well, I'm currently doing around 8 meals a day. Small meals, 8 small meals a day. Around 5,000 calories a day. Yeah, obviously you don't want to cut the carbs out completely, but you want to cut out, you know, the bad types of food. So instead of, say, having loads of rice and pasta, have a steak, but include some carbs, but have the carbs as, say, sweet potato. So have some carbs through the day, otherwise you are going to feel like utter shit in the gym and have no pump and be working off bone. So make sure you have a watermelon. So just eat half a watermelon. That'll keep your L-citrulline in, so you're getting some sort of pump. And then cut the carbs down though. Don't actually overdo the carb side of things, you know. Don't completely remove it, but remove majority. Alright, yes guys, so monitoring the lunch macro as of now. I just deleted one of the comments inside of the live stream chat. That was a weird comment, that. So bias as of now currently stands as bearish, okay? And we've seen an accumulation period between the end of the second AM going up to the lunch macro, and following this, a sweep of buy side would likely put us with a bearish bias, and then we can look for shorts, and then potentially a sweep of minor sell side would shift bias towards being bullish, as on the 5 minute would then be bullish after taking the minor sell side. The 15 minute would remain as neutral, the hourly would remain as bearish, and the 4 hour would remain as bearish, and the daily is bullish. Okay, so let's see what we get out of this accumulation period, and then we can look to base a position off that. Yeah, inside of the live stream chat, let's not go too off topic. I know sometimes we do, and we talk about different things, but let's not go too off topic majority of the time. That's Caden, my brother, right there. Oi, San Muka, brother, how are you doing? Are you in the stream? It's been a little while since we spoke. Let's see if San Muka's in the stream. Oh, he is. I think that's him. How's your accounts doing as of last week? You closed out in a nice profit as well, yeah? Last time we spoke, you was building your top step accounts and took a couple more payouts, a couple more 5k payouts there. Very good to see. Well, let me say this. What you will see on social media with other people that you follow is that they will say, look at my person who watches me trade live, or someone that they've brought one-to-one, and they'd say they got funded. Who cares about whether you get funded? Who cares? Okay, what you will see from myself is payouts, and not 1k payouts. Okay, we are taking payouts like you will not see in the trading space. Sam Muka's writing up a he's writing up a message here. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Got one more trading day left. Cool. And then you'll be taking, yeah, nice. Yeah, when you say the word Cajun, what does the word Cajun actually stand for? I'm not familiar with that word. I kind of get the gist. Not quite. It certainly is, brother. You deserve that payout. 100%. Yeah, to an extent, yes, running a prop firm is. But it's also why I would never run a prop firm. Never. Ever would I touch a prop firm or even be affiliated or do discount codes or anything. Can't be bothered, don't have time. And why would I lose money by starting a prop firm? Because you guys are going to want to be a part of my prop firm. And I'm going to go bankrupt. No thanks. No prop firm for me. I will use the prop firm. I shall not create. Alright, 5 minutes bullish. Fifteen's neutral. Trades up into nothing. Neutral. Hourly trades lower, but not quite into the new week. Same with the 4 hour. Still bearish towards new week. Bullish. Bullish, bullish, double bearish, neutral. Yeah, exactly, Dan. One shall not create, one shall use. And one monitors price, waiting for a valid model, whilst one other trader is unprofitable. Well, always the first step to when you are full-time is selecting a location and a time zone that works best for you and what you like. And to really get that personal preference for yourself, you actually do need to go all around the world and find what suits you best. So nothing as of yet in the lunch. My neck, as of now, is quite, I don't know, it's pretty achy, to be honest. Also upper back as well. When I went to Bangkok, I sent the thing in the van, and I went on the bike. It was a 3.5 hour bike. It was meant to be a 3.5 hour bike sat-nav journey. I did it in 1 hour and 20 minutes. And riding the bike over 200 for about 1 hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes, it does strain you for quite a few days. And I did it 2 days later on the way back as well. So I did a record there. It took me 1.5 hours, well, about 1 hour and 40 to get there, 1 hour and 35. On the way back in the dark, because the way there was raining, so I couldn't quite go the same speed, so I was going around. It was raining slightly, the road was wet, so you can't take corners and drain pipes and whatnot. So it took 1 hour 35 to get there. Way back did about 1 hour and 20. Oh yeah, I mean, if your engine's not ticking after your ride, then you've not ridden. Same with your car as well, you know. If you don't put water in your brakes, it's not steaming. No, no, no. Not with a ting on the back, no. I don't drive fast with people on the back of my bike. Simply because they don't like it. And I wouldn't, you know, put them at some sort of risk. And you can't go as fast because on a bike, they're always slamming into the back of you. Whenever you slam the brakes, accelerate, they're flying off the back. It's not really possible, to be honest. I've done wheelies with people on the back. You know, I had Keswick on the back of an R1 in Dubai, and, you know, was ripping a wheelie down Zayed Strip, the main road in Dubai. We did a wheelie down there. Keswick was on the back. Yes, brother. Of course. Depends where we link. We're either going to link in Thailand or it'll be Dubai. But I know you're coming out shortly. 100%. How much in total have you done in payouts now? I don't really know off the top of my head. 30k. Nice. Yep, you got the next one locked in for 25. Perfect. And just for other people, what date, I don't actually remember off the top of my head, but what date did you actually start learning this model so people have a perspective? It wasn't too long ago. This is a realistic standpoint. Must have been what? I'm trying to think. Price milestone by coin market cap. Bitcoin approaching 102. We're just making more as we speak, aren't we? Oh yes. It's getting close to 98, so 98 is my break-even point. Okay. I put the update for my crypto position inside of the Discord if you guys want to take a look at that. Currently floating around 43k in a profit, 45. Yeah, what was the date, brother? I can't... I'm on a different phone now, so it doesn't show how long we've been in contact for. Bitcoin's down 5%. I mean, how awful for people that really just don't know how to monitor. They just don't have the knowledge, do they? Oh dear. Do you still do one-on-one mentorship? Well, I've got people that I'm currently speaking with, but no, I'm not taking anyone on for a mentorship, no. Look at that accumulation for ES. Very big. Started around the 12th of June and actually going to evals and funded end of July. Yeah, that was it, yeah. Yeah, that was it, yeah. Took around a month and a half-ish. Yeah. Around a month and a half to get the model down and on your own terms. That was you being independent, yeah. Absolutely. Let me take a look at my crypto position. I'm not really too fast. Let me just reload. That's quite nice. It's at 1019. Yeah, 98026. I'd have to set some sort of alert. Milo, are you having Italian again today? Absolutely. Yeah, not too much happening inside of this lunch so far. Yes, he was, brother, yes. Caden C4. He was, I believe, on the demo at the time, yes. Still getting everything down. But now you're obviously funded. Yeah, Caden, my brother, you are printing as well. You know, there might not be any positions, but this is what you're starting to see, is that you are making money all of the time. We don't just rely on NASDAQ futures and payouts, which we receive each month, but we park it off into different things. And we use our knowledge in the crypto space. We capitalize. You don't, because what people think is that they always need to start a new business, something new. Let me start a Shopify store, start this, start that. If you master one thing, the financial industry, okay, which I have, okay, that's all that you need to know. You don't need to know anything else. You don't need to know how to sell anything else. Nothing. You don't need to know sales. You don't need to know nothing. I know crypto. I'm learning more about real estate. I'm not a professional. I'm not the best at real estate. I'm not even over 50%, 40, 30%. I still make money from it. And we work each day and month becoming better. Trading futures, there is no improvements. At the end of this year, I will do a full top-down analysis on every single trade I've taken this year and see if there's a consistency on my losses. Apart from that, that's the only thing I do. Ethereum approaching 3.4 alert. Yeah. Well, Adam, you asked that question, but whereabouts are you from? Because it might not be supported in your location. You know, to be honest, the one platform that you could potentially use, okay, would be Interactive Brokers. Okay, you could still short Bitcoin on options. You know, we have the ETF now from October, so you can options with Bitcoin. You just want to use the ETF for Bitcoin, and you put your options and you put your strike relatively close. I mean, you guys who went short at 115, you can have it at a strike for 113, so you'd be in the money, in $2,000, and then put your expiry at April, May time of next year. And if it hits before, it hits before. Okay. And we will be looking, as soon as this short hits TP, we are immediately looking for longs. Immediately. From the point of 75k Bitcoin, we are looking for longs, but we're looking for a model on a daily to 4-hour time frame. And if we do not get the model, it will save us from price repricing lower. And if it trades to 49,108, I will automatically take a long with no model. It will be a long at 50. From 75, we need a model. That's exactly how we will approach that situation. Broker for Bitcoin in the US, I would say using, what's that one called? Kraken. I would say for US, probably Kraken is probably one of the biggest. If you can get access to Binance, just use Binance. I don't know if you can use Binance in the US anymore. I don't really think you can. But yeah, use Kraken if you want to trade using leverage, Binance US. Or interactive brokers, you know, they're all perfectly fine. See, interactive is options. If you're placing spot orders, spot longs, just put your spot longs through your Trezor. Purchase a Trezor. $130. It's your new bank account. You know, it's better than a Swiss. It's better than any bank in the world. Use your Trezor. No one touches it. Yeah, so the 15 is bullish, the 5's bullish. The 1 hour's traded lower at a price of 704. Which doesn't put the 1 hour as bullish. Still bearish on the 1 hour. And the 4 hour, yeah, so 700 there. Flips them bullish. Bullish. So it's a bullish bias. So if we shift market structure by the point of the next 2 minutes higher, that will give us a model. Okay guys, so this does, with this candle closure here, put us at the end of the lunch macro. Today there's been no positions, same as yesterday. And we will be back tomorrow, which we have red folder news at 10 AM and also at 8:15 AM New York local time. So we will approach tomorrow the same approach as what we had today. Currently break even on the month of November. And we're only 2 trading days in. So I hope you guys have found this stream insightful and useful, and we've answered a lot of good questions. I will speak to you guys tomorrow for the New York Open and live at 9:20 AM. Have a great evening.